What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new tactic, and today it is all going to be about Scott Parker. Of course, had a great season in the championship this year, and I thought, you know what, let's go and make a tactic video on him, as it also was requested over 40 times. So apologies for the delay. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and as always, you can keep the comments coming on what you want to see next. We've got plenty of time until the next game, and if it comes to it, we'll start posting daily on this channel as well, because I do love to fulfill the requests that you do leave in the comments. So let's get into it, and firstly, it makes sense to go to Burnley, right? So off we go. Right then, so we are going to start off with Burnley, obviously in the Championship. Now, let's not sugarcoat things. They are one of the better teams in the Championship, but there are a lot of teams around them that can cause issues. So that doesn't take away a single thing that Scott Parker has done this season, and fair play to him, because they have gone on some pretty good runs. So we've got to give him credit where it is due. So that being said, let's focus on the FM. So we're actually going to come out and also win the Carabao Cup 3-0 over Brighton. Now, yes, it's a bit of an easier final, so let's see who we actually got through. We beat ourselves, obviously. Okay, that's a bit of a weird way to get through. The quarterfinals, we are going to beat Liverpool, so it's quite nice to see we didn't get spoon-fed our way to a final. We had to go through some pretty big teams to actually get there. Now, the FA Cup didn't go as well. The Sky Bet Championship went really well. We only failed to actually win 8 of the games. We win 38, so a very, very strong season. Marcus Edwards, one of my favourite players in this game from last year, absolutely thrived in this league. 39 goals. Josh Brownhill, Marcus Edwards in the assists as well. James Trafford, a very good goalkeeper. Probably going to get picked up by a better team in my opinion. A real good English talent. And when it comes to the actual stats, we're going to see a lot of goals being scored, a lot of shots, hardly any shots faced against us. Possession, not rank 1, not rank 2, but incredibly competitive in the field, finishing in P3. Dribbles over 1,000, 1,009 to be exact. Might be some of the most dribbles I've seen in a tactic, of mine at least, to quite some time. Defensively, we're Burnley. We're going to be rock solid, absolutely incredible at the back. And the data hub can come and see 2.54 goals a game, 0.48 conceded. So we're not talking about 6 goals a game, 5 goals a game. But what we are seeing here is comfortable on the ball, good pass completion, sensible when it comes to winning the ball back, with a good tackle win ratio, a good amount of shots per game, defensively rock solid, and about a 2-goal cushion for every game you're going to play. So I mean, you look at it like that, you can't really complain. Of course, whenever you play a team that's in the Premier League in a cup final, when you go on to win that, it shows that you can compete with them. And Brighton are not an easy team, but you might think they are when you watch these highlights, because the way we broke through them was actually made to look really easy. Yes, we are going to have a set piece in there as well, and yes, they are now also updated, so make sure you go and grab them, because they do bail me out some of these games, and yeah, why not? Because if they work, they work. We're going to take it. But fortunately, for my sake, there is not another set piece goal. It is actually going to be no words. And then over to Brentford, where we don't win the league. We do win the FA Cup, however, and also the Friendly Cup. So small positives, although winning the FA Cup's actually quite a big positive in my opinion. So a very good win there. Obviously the Carabao Cup, we knocked ourselves out. The league is actually really impressive to actually get inside the top 4. Again, only players that are really going to be in the stats are Flecken and Damsgaard, 2 of their strongest players. Now, we're a few points off winning the league, that is granted, but we are 6 points in the top 4, safe from Tottenham. And with this Brentford team, let's not forget what they're predicted to finish. They're predicted to finish around about, I think, 10th, I believe. Correct me if I'm mistaken. So the aim was to get in the top 6. That was the aim. So to get in the top 4, with no signings, no staff improvements, not even having my training loaded in, is a real big statement. So I'm going to take that and happily accept it. When it comes to the stats, also, we are going to be the best at defending, which is what I was expecting, because I actually did go into this season using the defensive version for all of the games, so that was to be expected, and also it was to be expected not to go and score loads because of that decision. So this is a prime example of actually where you use the defensive and attacking versions. I've gone in with Brentford here with the defensive one, knowing that we're not going to score as many goals, but knowing we are going to be great at the back, and it has actually paid off. So if I was playing this as a personal save, I've got UCL in season 1, and now I can build off that, and maybe next season improve the back line, then not have to go as defensive. Do you know what I mean? So you can really build a foundation for your save off these variants. And lastly, we are going to go over and test with arguably the best team in world football at the moment. It is going to be PSG, a very, very strong French team. The only thing we don't win is the Champions League. We do win the French Cup, 3-0 over Marseille. The Trophée des Champions, we're also going to win that 2-0 over Monaco. And the actual French League, it is to be expected, but we absolutely blitz it. I mean, 29 wins, 4 draws, 1 loss. Dembele, Ramos, Kvaratskhelia, all going to be in the goals, of course. They're such a good team to watch at the moment. And as you would expect in terms of the stats, we are going to walk it. I mean, the most goals, the most shots, the most dribbles. Defensively, absolutely clear of everybody. And possession, also reasonably okay. This is not really an all-and-out, flat-out control and tactic, so I wasn't expecting to have the most possession. Maybe a little bit better than 54%, I will be honest. You know, we do also pick out the weaknesses of some of these tactics compared to the strengths, and that would be one that I was hoping to see a little bit more in. But overall, I can't really complain because we're having loads of goals go in our favour. I mean, 75 compared to 113 is quite some difference. And I mean, the data hub is also going to be very, very nice. 3.32 goals a game, only 0.44 conceded, a good amount of shots, a solid pass completion, and nearly a 79% tackle win ratio. You don't get much better. But this French Cup final against Marseille, who obviously are actually quite a decent team, this could have been wrapped up in the first half. And to be honest with you, it's a great goal here from Kvaratskhelia. What a signing that was, by the way. He's been great in real life, always good in this game as well. Because we are going to actually go and lead this game 2-0 before half-time. So when I say it could have been done before half-time, I mean, some would argue it already was done before half-time. But a great goal there from Dembele. And for those that think the game isn't done, at this point, it is done. A new set piece coming in from Dembele, all the way back stick, and that is where I put him. Quality from Vitinha. And now over to your favourite part of the video. This is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And once again, if you do enjoy rebuilds, make sure you come on over to the main channel and check it out, because we are going to have a very exciting rebuild using this tactic, and also it might get tweaked, the tactic, and you can get another one. So make sure you come over and get involved, because there's tons of content you might be missing out on from this main channel that the other people are getting on the second one. So make sure you come and say hello. But to make this tactic, all you want to do is do a couple of simple things. The first one is actually create your own style and simply load in a 4-2-3-1. Right then, so the first thing you want to do is go down to the bottom left and change from balanced all the way up to positive, just to get the team ticking a little bit more. Not attacking, that is positive. Just to double check that, positive, not attacking. And let's go and break down some of these roles then. So the goalkeeper is actually going to be a sweeper keeper, who is simply going to come in on defend. Again, he doesn't have to do anything too special. Of course, Trafford is a really, really strong goalkeeper, but I would say he doesn't need to come out and play a Manuel Neuer role, so he's simply going to be on defend as that sweeper keeper. When it comes to the right back, we are going to use an inverted wing back on defend, so it is going to be pretty simple. As you can see, inverted wing back on defend, and by natural sort of status, he's going to have 5 instructions, so we're going to add nothing else to him, because he's going to be dribbling less, cutting in, crossing less, holding the position, and also sitting narrow, so I don't really need to change anything to him. So pretty simple. The other 2 centre-backs are going to be 2 ball-playing defenders, and both of them are going to be set to the default instructions, because again, by default, they do exactly what I want them to do. When it comes to the left back, we can afford to be a little bit more sort of out there and, you know, have him actually go forward a little bit. So we are going to use a wing back on auto, and he is going to be told to do a set few things. The first one is going to be cross more. The second one is going to be aim at the centre. The third one, run wide. The fourth one, get forward. So this left back will get forward and get heavily involved in the attacking side of the game, and will provide a lot of assists for the forward player. So make sure, if you're not playing as Burnley, you have that sort of set in place anyway, make sure you have got a good attacking left back to really get the most out of him. If you're sat there and you're saying, Josh, I've got no one that can go forward, I've got a really bad left back, simply have the wing back, but don't tell him to get forwards. Have him quite reserved. Yes, it might affect the amount of goals you get, but it's better than having a wing back that can't attack, try to attack, and you become annoyed. So better to keep it safe if you haven't got a wing back that can get the job done. When it comes to the midfield, we are going to have 2 default roles. On the left-hand side, we are actually going to have a DLP on support, simply on the default. And on the right, we are going to use a ball-winning midfield player simply on support as well. Now again, simply because they have the instructions that I put on them anyway, and there is no need for any other change. Going over to the left-hand side, we are going to use a winger on support, and he is going to have a couple of instructions just to bolster what I really want him to do. That is going to be cut inside, roam, and also set to close down more. Now again, incredibly important, especially on the left-hand side, this player is going to cut inside because the wing-back is going to look to overlap and really push on. And for this system, I don't want them to sort of overload that side and sort of not get in each other's way, but be too close together. I'd rather this player come in and even have a crack at goal or get in the box, something like that, because then this wing-back can almost replace him in that position. So nice and simple. Going through the middle, we are going to use an AM on support, and he is going to be told to shoot less and also roam from position. And when it comes to the right hand side, we are going to deploy an inverted winger on attack. Now he is also going to have some instructions consistent of taking more risks, shooting more often, roaming, closing down more, and that is going to be the role of Edwards, who obviously was our top goal scorer and in there with the assists. So much needed instructions, and again, very similar to what I'm going to say about the left back. If your winger has got bad finishing, bad composure, do not have shoot more often on. You've got to look at your squad and really decide, can I play 100% the same way? Because there is nothing wrong with tweaking the tactic for your team. There is nothing wrong with it at all. So bear that in mind. That is what I will say. I do want to quickly say at this part of the video, if you are interested in getting all of these wonderful perks, which does include access to all 3 of these tactics, all of my rebuild files, my rebuild tactic files, Wonder Kid shortlists, one-on-one tactical help, tactic tweaks, also ad-free viewing and access to big monthly giveaways, you can come and check out the Patreon. We've currently got over 5,200 people, and right now there is 20% off, so make sure you come on over and get stuck in. And to finish this tactic, you simply want to load in a deep line forward who is simply going to come in on attack, who again is going to be on the default because he already has not 1, not 2, but 3 already default instructions, so we don't need anything else. When it comes to the actual team instructions, we are going to go down by 1, 2 fairly narrow. We are also going to play out from the back, and this is where we are going to understand a little bit about how this tactic is going to start to play. So the passing does remain in the middle, the tempo goes down by 1, so that puts the passing actually, of course, on sort of a not direct approach, but definitely not all-out possession, you know what I mean? As we are also going to operate to be more disciplined. Now, let's go over and learn a little bit more. In transition, we're going to leave this blank, we're going to leave this blank, and we're going to leave this blank, and we are simply going to play to the back line. So there is going to be nothing crazy going on in transition, and to be honest, nothing really crazy going on when it comes to in possession. It's actually quite a safe tactic to play. And lastly, out of possession, we're going to go with that mid block, with the standard line more often, and simply get stuck in. So that is going to give you your default version. Now, because it is quite a risk-free tactic, today I would strongly advise you do go over and get the attacking one. Now, that doesn't mean you've got to go and download it from the Patreon. You can copy it literally right now, as we are going to go through it. Because the big difference between this one and this one is so many things. For starters, we're not playing with DMs, we're now playing with central midfield players, so that's already a big change. And as you can see, there's several player role changes as well. So the goalkeeper, he doesn't change. The ball players, they don't change. The inverted wing back on the right is now set to support on the default, and on the left, the wing back does remain exactly the same as what he was in the previous version. We then drag both of the DMs into more a central area, and on the right we have a box-to-box on support, on get forwards and also tackle harder, and on the left we have a default deep-lying playmaker. Through the middle, an AM on attack, on shoot less and roam from position. On the right, we're going to have exactly the same player role and exactly the same instructions. On the left, we now have a winger on attack, on cut inside, roam and also close down more, with the deep line forward being scratched and the introduction of an advanced forward purely because he will go and get you more goals and get in behind and really push, and we have got players in this team that can hack that role. The change which we're also going to talk about is going to be the team instructions, because it does change quite a fair bit. So the mentality doesn't, that still is going to be on positive. The width also remains the same, playing out from the back also remains the same, but this is where it gets a little bit different. So the passing actually goes down by 1 because we are really going to up the ante and the tempo gets completely maxed out. We are also going to be more expressive, and because of that, higher tempo, more pressure. I've decided to lower the passing a little bit so we can do this sort of zip-zap passing that is really hard to defend against. And to sort of back that up as well, to show how much we're really pushing the limits now, we are also going to have counter press on. So this tactic is probably not the complete opposite, but if you're playing the default version, then you switch to this one, you will catch people off guard, because this one transforms you into a high pressing, absolute high tempo machine, which yes, is more demanding on the players, but if you're after goals, for example, switching to this way and really taking the game to someone is exactly what you need to be doing. So make sure you have got it downloaded. And we are also then going to distribute quickly and simply play to the back line, because that doesn't have to change. And lastly, out of possession, we are going to go with the high press, with the higher line. So again, a big change right there. Step up more, get stuck in, and simply more often when it comes to the trigger press. Now, you've got your attacking version, you've got your default version, and now what you need is a defensive version, which is going to be more possession, more tiki-taka orientated. So for those that want to play this way, this is going to be the one for you. The goalkeeper does remain the same. The ball players also remain the same. An inverted wingback on defend on the right, on the left, a default wingback on defend. So the entire back line on defend, the entire back line on the default. The ball-winning midfield player on the right, on support, on the default, and the DLP also on support, on the default. When it comes to the wingers, we are going to change them up a little bit. So on the right hand side, it is going to be the same role of the inverted winger, but this time on support, on pass at short, and also sit narrow. And on the left, again on support, pass at short and cut inside. The AM now has 4 instructions: pass at short, shoot less, roam and move into the channels. And the deep line forward, he completely remains the same as the sort of balanced version. Now, team instructions, we have dropped down to balance, so we are going to really set the tone now of being a more calm possession-based team, as the width is going to go down to fairly narrow. We're going to be more disciplined. We still are going to play out from the back. We've got 2 ball players. We've got 2 DMs ahead of them. It makes sense to do so. The passing all the way down to much shorter. The tempo down to slightly lower. And this time, we are going to introduce a bit of time wasting. If you're saying, Josh, why are you not playing for set pieces? It's because sometimes you can, try not, you don't go direct, but it takes away from the controlling side, because you will just try and force, a shot at goal or something like that. So we are going to keep it nice and possession focused. In transition, we're going to hold the shape, slow the pace down, and play to anyone across the back line. Again, very risk-free. And lastly, out of possession, we're going to go with the standard line with that mid block and simply standard on the trigger press. So it is a bit of a, I don't want to use the word boring, but let's say more reserved tactic. But again, it is needed to seal out a game. And you've got 3 tactics here that are all inspired around Scott Parker, that all offer different things. This one, the word I'll describe it is as consistent. That will get the result done. You're not going to go and score 9 goals a game, but you won't concede 4 goals a game. It will get the job done to a very high level. This attacking one is designed to be switched to go and grab more and more goals. And of course, this one you can either play a whole season with as that sort of slower paced team, methodical play, or you can switch to it in the last 20 to seal out a game. So hopefully you have enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And as always, you can comment below the video you want to see next. We've got tons of requests, but keep them coming, because we have got endless time until the next FM, and we can even do some V2s of things. So if there's any tactic you think, Josh, I want an updated version of that, you can also comment that. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.